Hey, it's another episode. I'm super excited. Yes, welcome back to the channel. You're watching me on the TV, and this is the AVS show. So go ahead and subscribe, share, like. What are you doing?
I'm blowing kisses to my fans.
Oh my
DMing. I'm showing them love.
All right, you can follow her on Instagram and follow our page on Instagram at the AVS show. All right, so let's dig right into the story. But before that, Odera, it is still your last week here at the AVS show. I have to ask you though, what is one of your favorite topics ever discussed on the AVS show?
Anything that's to do with Nigeria.
Oh yeah, because you went in.
Yeah.
You went in.
Yes.
Their politics, the president.
I entered them very well. And I love the opportunity to be able to do that for the audience, for the people. Yeah. I want to say that I actually did appreciate learning more about Ghana.
Ooh.
Yes. You guys are the first Ghanaians that I've ever been so close in contact with.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm very honored.
And I hope we didn't disappoint you.
No, you didn't disappoint
Okay,
me.
good.
I even appreciate the beef. You know, it's very healthy rivalry.
Yes.
Even though Nigeria is
The
better.
debate, the
you
hot
know.
debates.
Yeah.
What is your one of your favorite moments with Odera? I mean, on
Odera?
the show, not
Not behind the scenes.
Not behind the
We
scenes.
know.
I was gonna spill the tea.
Spill it. Oh, there's tea.
Spill it?
Oh,
I should spill it?
Oh, there's tea.
I should spill it?
Wait, there's tea behind
She
the
wants me
scenes.
to tell her first.
Wait. I don't know what he's talking
Wait,
about.
what
Oh,
happened?
spill the tea.
I don't know
Come
what he's
on.
talking about.
Favorite
After
moment.
the show.
Don't you
after
want
the
to
show.
do the show, please? Go
I
on.
want to do the show, but I want to know.
Go
I
on.
want to know.
Go on.
All right, can I tell you?
Go on.
Can I tell you my favorite? My favorite of you.
Okay.
Jeez.
Okay.
Oh,
You get to fear me.
my very
Why
favorite
you
was
scared
actually.
of me?
Oh, my very favorite was actually the very first episode. You came in, you knew your shit, you knew what you were talking about, you came prepared because you knew what show you were coming on, which is the ABS show, and you brought it. You brought it, girl. You really brought it. So I love you for that. All right. Yazzie, you want to tell us what your favorite moment was with Odera?
I don't know if there's a favorite. I think that Odera brought a lot to the show. She's been great so far. Intelligent, smart.
Ooh.
Namaste.
There's a lot of, there's I think we had a lot of great moments,
Right.
you know. Again, I would agree that definitely the Nigeria topics, because anytime we talked about things that had to do with Nigeria, she would always get very, very passionate
passionate
about
about
those
it,
things.
right.
But like,
She
yeah,
should.
I think that, like Charlie said, you came, you knew you were coming on an amazing show, and you brought it. You brought it and you fit right in. You blended right in, so.
Yes.
And she came to the show to break my heart.
You're right.
After all the hearts you've broken, it's okay
Don't
for
mind
one person to
Hey,
break
the
your
person
heart.
that's going to fill that seat has a big, shoes to fill.
Definitely.
You better be ready.
All right, so let's dig right into this week's topic. What is going on?
One of our very own pioneers of Afro beats, Dbanj, actually lost his son recently. His son drowned in the pool while he was away. He actually traveled for the BET Awards. He was in the States, and some way, somehow, his indoor pool, I don't know what happened, and his son actually fell in the pool and drowned. That's the bad news.
Wow. Well, from what I was hearing and reading, apparently there was a little get together at the house. There was a little party going on, and the mother left the little boy,
For a second.
just to play with the much older kids in the house, and that happened. This makes me very sad, and it also got me thinking. We need to teach our children how to swim. Black people, Africans, we should learn how to swim. No, seriously, honestly, because I was watching DJ Khaled.
DJ Khaled.
And at the
kids
little
are about the same age.
At the same
Okay.
age. Hold on, please let me finish. At the same age, and he was teaching the little baby how to swim. Asad how to swim. Now, in cases like this, maybe, just maybe, he would have survived.
Because
that's what
for you
I'm
to
just
have a kid that is like 13 months old,
Yes.
and then you have an indoor
saying.
pool.
When you know you have a pool,
when
and
you have
anything
a
can
kid,
happen.
either you cover the pool,
Yes.
or you teach the kid to swim,
Yeah.
or you make sure somebody's watching the kid.
All the time.
Actually, this happened to a very, very close family friend of mine, Christmas 2016. His 3-year-old son, who knew how to swim, drowned in their family pool. The day before Christmas. So when I saw this, it was very close to home for me. My friend still hasn't recovered from it up till today. There's nothing like losing a child. You can never recover from it. There's nothing can replace like never, ever. And his child was so handsome, so beautiful. But honestly, I have a child. I'm not putting a pool in my house when I have little kids. I'm sorry. I know a lot of people do it, but if you're around kids, kids are always kids. Like with my family friend, what happened was they were all in the living room watching Sunday. They all had Sunday family dinner, watching a movie. Everyone fell asleep. The little boy fell asleep in his dad's arms. They woke up in the morning. He was in the pool. CCTV shows that he woke up, sleepwalked into the pool. And that's the reason why you should have goosebumps. Like, kids and pool.
No. But you know what I've also realized?
Kids on fire. There's a lot of things that could happen.
Yeah,
in the house.
especially indoor.
Kids and
That
sharp
is,
objects.
like, I don't even know how it is sanely, like, why any parent that has a 13-month-old child that is possibly crawling, well, definitely crawling, and possibly walking an indoor pool, period. But maybe they felt like there were a lot of people around, you know, which kind of also kind of bugs me out, is if there were people around, how did he drown?
And
no one
what
went
I've
to
also
help him?
realized in Africa, because I recently went back to Ghana, we do not child-proof our environment, our house. There's nothing like child-proof. I grew up in Ghana. Everything was exposed. The electric was exposed.
My friend's pool had a fence.
I have cousins that drank kerosene. I don't know if you guys know what. Yes. They drink also because sometimes they put it in the Coca-Cola bottle just to save it, and then the kids will end up drinking it. There's a whole bunch of like examples like that. We do not child-proof. We need to educate, ourselves in stuff like that.
I babysat this baby that was putting wires in her mouth. Like, it drove me crazy because children get into everything. The thing about this story that actually hurt me a lot was when it was posted on Instablog and all the blogs. People were saying, "Oh, where was the mother? What was the mother doing? So irresponsible." I don't think people realize the pain that these people are going through. Right now is not the time for a blame game. There's no blaming because it's happened, and she's definitely in so much pain.
But it's easier to do though, because something like this happens, we want to blame somebody, right? Because
of the kid,
because it's a child. So something like this, we want to blame somebody.
The IG of police have actually written a statement asking the family, Dbanj actually, to report to the station after morning to come and give account of exactly what happened.
I was just gonna say that as well, because first of all, condolences to the whole family, and I can't even imagine how Dbanj feels, especially because he was not there. So he will probably feel the most guilty, because it's like, if I was there, this probably would not have happened. Like, I would have had him, or I would have had extra eyes or whatever. So I can only imagine how he feels, or whatever the case is. But definitely, I do think the situation really needs to be investigated if there was a get-together. I don't know if the story about the get-together was true, but it really needs to be investigated. Like, I'm around kids all the time, and kids are loud, crazy. When he fell in the pool, none of the other kids ran like
They rushed the baby to the hospital, and I think it was too late. Another thing, let's teach people how to do CPR.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Let's teach people like that. That way, and we know Africa, they're going to take forever to get there. The traffic, if they call the emergency number, it's going to take forever for them to get there. So we need to teach CPR classes and first aid. That way things like this don't happen. But for me, I feel bad for Dbanj because this happened like a week or 2 weeks after Father's Day. I feel horrible.
And this is a lesson learned. People out there, you have kids, do not put a pool in your house. It is not worth it. Like, period.
Don't
if you care, but just prove.
My friend's house, there was a fence. There was a whole entire fence. And apparently, right before they went in, someone stepped in and forgot to lock it. It's not worth it. It's not worth a life.
Needs to be blamed.
It's not worth a life to have a pool in your house. Like,
or
now
put in have a pool.
Okay. Then you know what you should do. You know how you know when people have a really big house, like literally build a shed over it, literally with a door that locks.
Yeah, but you can prove.
It's the
you can
safest
cover
way.
Have a pool and not have a baby.
Also, you can watch children closely. Like, people, it takes a split second. I teach children 10 to 14 years old, and it takes me just checking my phone for the time, and these people are at each other's
Somebody's
throats.
already crying.
Somebody's clapping. Somebody's trying to clap.
Falling down.
All it takes is for me to quickly answer a call. Like, at the door, I turn my back. I turn back. They're at the window. They're doing all sorts of things.
Somebody's on top of the other.
Thank you. And like,
they are 10 years old.
10 years old. So imagine, they're ready to jump off tables, and these are people that you think know better. So imagine a little kid that they're just exploring the world. Everything is new to them. They're trying to get into everything. You don't leave children unattended.
See the kid that broke.
So
watch them.
what message do we have for Dbanj? We love you,
sorry.
Dbanj, and yeah, we keep you in your
Janla,
prayers.
God will give you
This
strength.
story
Yes.
is tragic. The next story is also tragic. I'm sure you guys saw this already. There was a tragic explosion on the Lagos-Ibadan expressway. Ibadan. Sorry, I'm not Nigerian. Forgive me, my Nigerian cousin.
Say it again.
Lagos-Ibadan expressway.
He said it for me. I don't want my cousins to kill me, so let him say it. But yes, this was very, very tragic when I saw this. I don't even know what to say about Nigeria, but I'm really keeping you guys in my prayers because, I mean, it's just been way too much going on in your beautiful country with beautiful people.
Which people are beautiful?
Oh,
the people
Nigerians
are
can
beautiful.
be beautiful.
You went there.
People are beautiful.
Nigerians
Listen,
can be beautiful.
enough with the pray for Ghana, pray for Nigeria, pray for... Listen, Africa is one of the prayerful continents in the entire world.
The most
So how many prayer are we going to pray? Please tell us the news. What caused this fire?
Okay.
What caused it?
So I'm going to be honest with you. You guys know how I am. What caused the fire was a tanker crashed. And when the tanker crashed, people literally had maybe 2 minutes to escape, and they did not escape. And I kind of have a problem with that because I watched a video of a man with a white shirt. I watched a video and he was there. You could see the explosion behind him. And he said when the accident happened, he got out of his car, told the people around him, let's go. They didn't. And he said as soon as he crossed the street, boom. So, I mean, so far, I don't know if it's the account is right. They say 10 people died so far. I don't know, maybe possibly more.
Probably more.
Do you know,
Look at how many cars.
First of all, let me give you a scenario.
Before you get there, though, what I'm saying, even if 50 people died, if one person was able to cross the street, other people could have. And I tell people this all the time. Me, when I have car trouble, I get out of my car, I cross the street. I don't sit anywhere close to the car. Car has way too much gas, oils, for you to just hang around a messed up car.
This Lagos-Ibadan expressway is one of the most busy roads in Lagos because it's separating 2 different states. So it's an expressway. The traffic in Lagos, you already know, is incredible. At least each of these cars have at least 5 people inside. Even those small cars, I promise
Overload.
Exactly. Thank you very much. Now, in this picture alone, you can already see 2 buses. Those buses are packed with at least 20 people. And you can't tell me that anybody, like, there's anything less than 50. In just this picture alone, not even talking about the whole road. There's not less than 50 bodies that would have been burnt to ashes. Ashes beyond recognition. People will know, I know how full people park their cars. This long one, they'll park like 12 people inside. There'll be people
And how
in the
can they
booth.
exit?
How can they exit? That's one. Now let's break down this story. Why is an oil tanker on the road during rush hour? Because of the incompetence of the government that we have in Nigeria, that they refuse to do railways, they refuse to do any type of pipeline, that people don't need to do this type of thing. There's a big issue with oil tankers in Lagos. They are parked on the expressway, on Apapa Road, all the way lined up for miles, full tankers during the day for no sensible reason why this should happen. When Fashola was governor, he put a rule that they should only go at night. Of course, corruption, bribery, they stopped running at night. They started running by day. As of now, the reports I heard that they said that it takes Navy people to tell these tankers not to go. Why are they still trying to drive during the day? Greed, because they want to make it to their next port so that they can sell their oil, forgetting that it's a hazard to be driving in the heat. Part of the issue is the heat in Lagos, the other cars, the inflammability of it, like it's crazy. Now break it down to what you're talking about. You're saying beautiful people, my illiterate Nigerians that want to film, that want people. The story, I know what you're talking about. The guy said that people were trying to reverse their cars. They were trying to save their stupid Camrys instead of their own lives.
And that was my point.
Instead of their own lives. So that's why I say which Nigerian people are beautiful, because on one hand you have the stupid government,
My Nigerian friends are beautiful.
Excuse me. You have the stupid government, the stupid leaders that don't want to implement things that are going to make people's lives better, and then you have the ignorant people that don't know anything. Of course, you can still blame the government that they're not educated because of the government, but still by themselves, you don't need that much knowledge to know that where there's oil, where there is the gas station, at least everybody has bought gas, even if you've not gone to school, you've gone to the gas station, they say flammable. You have car, you have engine running. Nothing, it shouldn't take you anything to know, run.
Yeah,
Don't try and save your car. Don't try and open your phone and make a damn video.
And that's what, again, you're right about everything.
Drink some water, sis.
Yeah.
She's absolutely right.
I mean, you said it all, and it goes back to my issue as well. Let's face the issue here. Because right now I saw a lot of celebs posting, oh, what is going on in Nigeria?
I know.
The devil is sick. No, there's no devil, sis.
The world is only ending in Nigeria.
Yes, it's not. It goes back to where you know what's right. Why you're not doing it? Why you're not doing it? And there needs to be consequences moving forward with issues like this.
You want me to break the camel's back right now?
Yes.
Just this morning, another accident almost happened with this same tanker. He hit the divider, but the guy, he's basically, you can't say that he's one of us. He's a presenter. He said, "I'm reporting from Lagos, the same Ibadan expressway. Look at what has happened again." Listen, that's been 48 hours. Nobody has come to claim responsibility for that tanker. The governor has not come out. They say he went to the scene. He hasn't come out to make a statement. He hasn't come out
you're lying.
He hasn't come out to lay down any law to prevent this happening. That this morning, the same situation was just closely avoided. And you tell me that Nigerians are beautiful. Weird. How? They don't want to help themselves, because if they did, they would be at Aso Rock right now fighting, telling the government, hey, wake up. You're not going to live here. How can they see I can't even believe that anybody's working with any politician. Why are you a PA? Why are you a tailor to any politician that is not helping your life?
Right thing. That's exactly the problem. Corruption. Lives are being lost every day. These are just the ones that are in the news. People are being killed, lives are being lost. Different hazards like this have been happening all the time. And then tankers are packed on the road, not only in Lagos, even as far as in Delta State, any state, tankers are packed on the road. And what actually happened that day was the truck actually had something with the tire, and then it hit the tanker. So there was time for people to get back.
Reaction time.
But nothing. There's nothing to say. She has said it all.
The whole thing is so frustrating. So this is just this week, right? And you're talking about celebrity stock. I bet you didn't know that just the week before, there was a crisis in Jos. They killed 200 people.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Do you understand? And so that's what I'm saying, that Nigerians don't want to help themselves. There's so many issues.
I think the thing is, everybody is just worried about me, and my family. That's what it really is. It's like, as long as I'm okay, as long as I'm this, as long as I'm that. People in Nigeria at this moment, a lot of them are not concerned about the community,
safety,
the people as a whole, the safety. Because if that happened, I mean, there's no reason why a tanker should even be on that road. And even that tanker driver himself that is driving that tanker on that road shouldn't even do it during rush hour. Like, it's just common sense, because you're also putting your life at risk, not just the life of other people. It's just common sense to move it at night, period. Or find a different route. So,
listen, I like your passion, I like what you said, but I'm confused. Are we praying for Nigeria, or we're not?
Don't pray for people that don't want to help themselves. Please, keep the prayer. Keep the prayer. Pray that, go and give them sense. Ask them to receive sense. That's what they need. They need sense, because I'm tired of this prayer. How long are we going to cry for Nigeria? Are we the only people that pray? Are we the only people that pray? Every other person prays and does something about it. Don't pray for Nigeria. Guess what? And I tell every single Nigerian this. They say, oh, it's God, only God. Listen, God ain't listening to y'all no more, because he has given you everything you need to help yourself. He refused to help you. He doesn't want to hear it, because even God has his own limits. You can't be stupid. He gave you a brain for a reason. If you're not going to use it, he's going to leave you alone.
I agree.
All right, before she catches a heart attack, let's move on to the next topic.
My heart attack is going to continue, because my next topic is even worse.
Oh, gosh.
It's even worse.
Oh,
it's
what's
even
happening?
Worse. Our neighbors, our brothers right across the border, Cameroon might as well have been Nigeria.
Yeah.
There's a civil war in Cameroon, and Paul Biya is sponsoring it. He's the one behind it.
Who is Paul Biya?
Paul Biya is the president of Cameroon, the 80-something 100-year-old man that refuses to step down from the throne that he thinks is the presidency. Meanwhile, he lives in Switzerland or whatever European country, living up the life of luxury, and he still wants to run again, mind you. Anyway, this is this BBC captured this screenshot of that village in January. You see, it wasn't burnt, and now in June, burnt to ashes.
Right.
burnt to ashes within a 6-month period. There's been a clash between the Anglophone-speaking side of Cameroon and the Francophone-speaking side of Cameroon. I think we spoke about it.
We spoke about it on the ABS show, yes.
About it, that the DSS in Nigeria arrested some secessionist leaders in Abuja and deported them to Cameroon. Those guys are in prison. Their soldiers have the, national military regalia on them. They're going around burning people's houses. There's a video of a guy that was tortured so bad.
The houses that they're burning, is it Anglophone or Francophone?
Yes, Anglophone, because the Anglophone are the minority. If you know that Cameroon was colonized by the French.
So
and
are
also
they
the
burning
German
major cities, or are they targeting people that can't help themselves?
Of course. So you know, our
it's the
African people, it's always the weak, because the secessionist movement started because the Anglophone side of Cameroon felt marginalized. They felt that they weren't given opportunities to make money, and most of the rich people in Cameroon were from the Francophone speaking side. And that's why they said, okay, so if we're not going back to Nigeria, because there was a point where that Anglophone speaking side was in contention of whether it was going to be Nigeria, that Bakassi area, because there was a lot of oil, and then the whole big thing with Obasanjo saying, okay, Bakassi can go to Cameroon and all of that. So it's a lot, but nobody's talking about it. Nobody's saying anything. I'm not even sure Paul Biya is in the stupid Cameroon as we're speaking. He's not there. He's not there. People are fighting, burning themselves down, and it's crazy.
Well, one of the reasons why people are not talking about it is because you're fighting yourselves. Because you keep burning out their houses. These are your community at the end of the day. I don't live in Cameroon. So if you want to fight yourself, they have to have sense. This goes,
like
it boils down to it. Where is the sense right now? Because at the end of the day, you are burning down your grocery store, you're burning down your villages, and then when you wake up in the morning, what's going to happen?
But they're not burning. That's what I'm telling you. It's the Francophone soldiers that are burning down Anglophone communities.
But the Anglophone communities don't have their soldiers?
No, it's one soldier. So it's only one military.
No, but you see, the problem here, what she's actually talking about is that when there's a civil war in a country, the leadership asks for aid, asks for help from external bodies. But now the leadership is even sponsoring the war. So there's no hope for the country right now.
Must be Francophone. So basically what they're trying to do is they're trying to extend the Anglophone. They don't want the Anglophones to exist. So that the whole place can be only Francophone. So that the Francophone can take over that side. And that's the part that I don't get. Like I always say this, if they dislike them that much, why don't they just split it, let it go, have the Anglophone, we can have 2 countries. We find a different name for it.
Ambazonian, that's the name they chose for themselves.
Why? Like why? Why so evil? Why so?
Peninsula, is it in the Anglophone or the Francophone side?
Anglophone side.
That's why. Bakassi Peninsula is an oil-rich land.
I know,
and it's in the Anglophone side. So they can't let them divide because they will lose that natural resource.
No, but you can let them divide. If you really dislike a group of people, let them divide.
Are you listening to me?
But if you're a human being, you are a human being. You have feelings and you have emotions. It's 2 things that you could do. You can either let them live, let the Anglophone live, find a way. There is a way to coexist. There's no reason. In Ghana and Nigeria, we speak several different languages. We have different, we're not fighting each other. We're the same people. That's number 1. Number 2, if you dislike them so much, why do you want their oil? Why do you want the oil? Why do you want the money? Why not? Because you want the money. Okay, so why not this?
When it comes to land and natural resources and what gives the whole nation its money, is there's Accra, and what's the other place?
Kumasi.
Okay, Kumasi now. Accra is the major, city. Kumasi has oil in its land. Kumasi people now are minorities. Accra is making all the economy from Kumasi. And Kumasi now have been marginalized. And now they want to separate themselves
so that they can take
control of their natural resource. But Accra knows that if they give Kumasi what they want, Accra will have no money. So they have to oppress them and kill them so they can possess the land.
I understand 100% what you're saying. And all I'm saying is that the president is straight evil. Because what he's doing is not humane, period. There has to be some sort of way to resolve it. Don't let them go, let them work, find them jobs, do it. Because at the end of the day, the oil is worth way more than the people. So you giving the people jobs, you're still going to make money anyway.
Can you only be the president?
But killing them off is crazy.
But since when are you only president of people that you like? Ain't you supposed to be the president of all?
Hello, are we in America? What's going on here too?
I mean, listen, but to go back to what you're saying about how people are not talking about it. I want to ask you, how is the media? Are the media controlled? And is that why we're not seeing more images?
Yes, the media is francophone. The media is controlled. That's what I'm saying. The francophone side of the country controls everything, including the media, including what gets out.
But if BBC has this, what's going on with the Western world who have seen this, and they have to say the UN has to do something. They have to do something because we have this footage to show that there is a problem. So it doesn't matter what the media is coming out. That's why we have United Nations. So United Nations is supposed to go in there, analyze what's going on, and find a solution.
Are they a member of UN?
Yes.
Isn't every country a member of the UN?
There are a few countries that are not. They're like, say 12 countries that are not.
Man, this topic has no solution for now. The only thing that the only
solution has gone on for years.
Yes.
Solution to this is, I really feel you're right. At this point, ICC, United Nations, need to come in and settle this matter because Paul Biya has already behaved like a dictator. They need to overthrow him. What needs to happen is that you can't tell me that there are no Francophone people that are sympathetic to the Anglophone people's cause. They need to speak up. It's the same thing that happened here in the United States. There were some white people that spoke up for the slaves that got them liberated. So there have to be some Francophone people in Cameroon that will speak up for the Anglophone, and they need to fight this government, push Paul Biya out. That's the solution to this. What needs to happen is unity. People need to come together, and the Anglophone people community need to be strengthened. You know, they need to be bolder to fight this. They can't just take this sitting down.
Did you hear about the Muslim imam who hid Christians in his mosque? That's the perfect thing. Like, he's Muslim and he didn't care. He helped the people because he's a human being. You help people. It doesn't matter Anglophone, Bluebophone, Muslim, Christian. All right.
Thanks, Odera, for bringing that story in and giving us more insight. And we'll update you guys on more. But we have to move on to the next topic, okay? All right, so parents are giving away their daughters out in exchange for cows just to survive.
That's nothing new.
You lie. In what country?
This has been going on.
So child marriage is increasing in part of a war-torn South Sudan. And also there has been a drought in Kenya. And this is forcing the parents to exchange their daughters for goats and cows. So what do you guys think about the story?
My African people, when are we going
I didn't mean to bring this story in to keep your blood pressure high, but it's going on.
We went from bad to worse.
That's why I wore red, because you just want my blood pressure to shoot through the roof. Well, like my African people, when are we going to have any kind of sense? What's the problem?
Are you surprised that it's still going on? Because I thought this is like back in the day.
Yeah. South Sudan has South Sudan gotten better? Has the situation gotten better? It's only deteriorating by the day, by the single second. So of course it's going to get worse. I don't know. It boils down to education. Because if these people were educated, wouldn't they know that their children are more valuable than cows?
But I also think it's also poverty, though. Because now, you don't have enough. So now I'm going to give my daughter to you for marriage. Then give me these cows, but and then it goes back to education as well. How about you take your daughter to school, and then when maybe she graduates, she can get a good job and buy you 5 more cows.
There's no money. There's no money to put the girl to school. There's no money to buy food for the girl for the next week. There's no money.
That's selfish. That's selfish. Where has our sensitivity gone? I thought in the days parents used to sacrifice themselves for their kids. So now you sacrifice your kids for yourself?
But really? If you go into it, most Africans, and up to today it still goes on, have no value for children. Most, even up to today. In Africa, when a child is sitting, they want you to get up for the older person to sit down.
The reason why I said education in the school is that's where most of these women are coming from. They give their daughters out to this rich man, and this rich man would take these girls to school. So yes, I want my daughter to go to school, and because I can pay for it, I'll give my daughter to you. Now take her through education and through college, and then, maybe a better life after. That's where most of these women are coming from.
No, they're giving them away for good, for cow.
I know, but for...
Who does that?
I know, but sometimes they put them through education, though.
You know what they're not even thinking about? What if the cow just gets a disease and the cow dies the next day?
Now your daughter is gone.
You can't eat it. You can't farm with the cow. You can't get milk. You can't do anything.
But you see, this is why I really love the media, because when I say education, I don't even just mean formal education, just information.
Exposure.
thank you very much. If they were exposed enough, at the end of the day, so some of our African people ran away. They ran to this country. If they just had the exposure that, let me, like you said, let me sacrifice myself, let me work, let me toil. If it is to sleep with man, let me find some money, carry my child out of this situation.
To make their life better.
To make their life better. If it is that I'm just going to carry them on my head, walk across the Red Sea till I get to Spain, till I get to Morocco, and my child can, do you understand, let them, and I die when I get there.
You've even gone far. They can come to Ghana, they can go to Nigeria, South Africa.
We never finished to solve our problem.
There's so many.
Oh, you don't want
There's so many different options. They can even leave, because I'm pretty sure this is not going on in the major cities. It's going on in the outskirts. So you can even leave from the outskirts to the main cities. But as you said, it has to do with exposure. And let's be honest, it's the village, you know, like that's what goes on. It's the same way how, like, even here in America, when you go to certain rural areas, one man is married to like 10 women. Some of the girls are 16 years old. In rural areas, that's what goes on.
Who are these men bidding on these girls?
Pedophiles,
May the biggest cow win? Like, what is going on?
Nasty.
The women are just giving them away. You said something about a drought in Kenya.
Yeah, and that's the reason why. Like, it's like there's things happening in Sudan and things happening in Kenya
too.
And it's forcing them to exchange their daughters for cows. This makes me sad. This makes me sick to my stomach. And Kenya, Sudan, get your shit together. This is not right. All right, so we gotta go. Are you okay?
I'm okay.
Everybody's like just shook with all this topics.
I'm okay because it's you know, it's unfortunate, but it's just a sad truth that in Africa, women are just not valued. Like that's at the end of the day, that's what it comes. And it's crazy to me that you won't value the person that created you, because I do not think women are more powerful than men. I don't think so. But we need each other to coexist, you know? Without me, T-Money can't have a kid, you know what I mean? So how could you not, I don't mean it like that, T-Money, not like, but you get what I mean, like you're male, I'm female, we need to mix to reproduce. That's how I mean it. So it's crazy to me that that's not, you know, valued. Like why we don't value a woman who, even at the worst, cooking, cleaning, like women are having a woman in the household is so important. When your son gets married, he's gone. He goes and he's with with his family. It's usually mostly the women that, you know, are home, family oriented. So that's just crazy to me. But in Africa, kids are not respected. I don't care what anyone says. I experience it all the time where some of my mom's friends or certain, they feel like I'm supposed to do something because no, the child is valuable. I have my whole future ahead of me. You're already old. Why don't they sell their wives? That's what they should be selling. You've already had the kids. What are you even good for at this point? I should sell you rather than even sell the kid.
All right. So thank you guys for having this conversation with me. And thank you for watching. Until next time you're watching the ABS show. This is Mina TV. Bye.
Thanks for watching. And if you liked this episode, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. See you next time.